Rosie O'Donnell recently made a statement that caught everyone off guard. The true reason Ellen left the United States and wrapped up her show is far more troubling than most people imagine. Once you piece everything together, it all begins to add up. Ellen's executive producer, Twitch, along with her former partner, Anne Hedge, both
her stories have changed so many times about what happens, when it happens, how it happens, with different versions. And each time she speaks, there's a different version.
And that is from the documentary that's just aired in the United States. That's come just off the satellite. For more, we're joined by US broadcaster Cooper Lawrence to dissect it. What did you make of Ghislaine Maxwell?
It reminded me of Nobody Taught Me How to Curtsy and I Didn't Inhale. There was a lot of this evidence that came out during the trial that suddenly she's like, no, it's fake. I mean, during the trial, they showed her that photo and she said, yeah, that's me. That's my apartment. I recognize it. And, it was one of the things that indicted her. Now suddenly it's a fake photograph.
Rosie O'Donnell and Ellen shared a close friendship for many years, with Ellen even coming out publicly on Rosie's show in 1996. But today, they rarely speak. Rosie is now opening up about what truly happened between them and explaining why she chose to step away from the public eye. Although The Ellen Show ran for over 20 years, Rosie was never invited as a guest. In May 2022, Ellen's long-standing run came to an abrupt end after she faced criticism for fostering a toxic workplace environment for her staff. After ending the show, just 2 months later, her former girlfriend, Anne Hesh, died in a car accident. Later that same year, in December, Twitch died by suicide. Ellen
DeGeneres and her wife, Portia de Rossi, have reportedly fled the US, bound for the UK, after Donald Trump's landslide victory. Numerous publications are reporting the couple have left the United States permanently. There are also reports the couple have put their Montecito mansion on the market. Entertainment publication The Wrap has the exclusive story and said, Ellen DeGeneres and wife Portia de Rossi have moved to rural England, put their Montecito estate on the market, and plan to never return to the United States, telling friends the election of Donald Trump was their primary motivation. Ellen DeGeneres has been a vocal Trump critic, so the move doesn't come as a surprise to most.
They're losing their minds.
She sounded so sincere, didn't she?
Very sincere.
Virtually choke on her words. But the best one for me is Ellen DeGeneres, who is, by the way, a very nasty person. I've had dealings with her in Australia.
Bit of
Could I tell you some stories about that cow? But anyway, good riddance to her. But she was quite friendly with that P. Diddy bloke, wasn't she?
Well, this is why I say release the Diddy files.
Yeah.
Release the Diddy files. Come on, Donald Trump. We want to know whose name.
So maybe she's hightailing out of there before all that is thrown at her as well. But what a bunch of hypocrites.
In a statement given to ET, Warner Brothers, the company behind Ellen's show, said they spoke with dozens of current and former staff members following the allegations. They explained that their review uncovered certain shortcomings in the show's daily management. Going forward, both the studio and Ellen said they are dedicated to building a work environment grounded in respect and inclusivity.
We're learning more tonight about the tragic side of Stephen Twitch Boss and the detailed steps he took to hide his plans. TMZ is reporting when Twitch left his home the day before he took an Uber to a motel about a mile away. At the motel, he switched his phone to airplane mode so no one could reach him. The motel manager says he checked in under his own name and never left his room. We also now know that Twitch left suicide note. Details have not been made public, but TMZ reports the note alluded to challenges Twitch had faced in the past. Entertainer Tyler Perry knows firsthand what that is like.
I want to take you back to a time in my life where I tried to commit suicide a couple of times because it was so dark. I thought the only way to make this better, this pain go away, is stay in my life. Had any of those attempts happened, I would have missed the best part of my life.
These misconduct claims come from a BuzzFeed article published the previous week, featuring anonymous statements from around a dozen former employees and one current staff member. About 2 months after The Ellen Show ended, its executive producer, Stephen Twitch Boss, died and reportedly left behind a note. Some investigative reporters have suggested that the note pointed toward Ellen as a contributing factor in his death. His wife also
for the type of ratings we need and attention to be on this thing. See, what I'm saying is, in business, nothing is coincidental, or you would be hearing who's losing money. In all of these situations, it's only the artist that's losing. Somebody makes big money. When these rappers get killed, not incidental. Somebody made $100 million and now don't have to talk to that artist or none of their crew, don't have to validate none of their contracts. Now only got to deal with the mama, only got to see her once a year, and it's over. And the money goes up and up and up. So they killed this $20 million guy, but they reaped $60 million in benefits.
Wow.
And they had some people from your city do it.
Wow.
I'm saying there's the good side and the bad side of these businesses, and
but think about what you just think about what you just said. That's extremely thoughtful and powerful. It could only be what it was if it were those two. Those two, yes. Will Smith and Chris Rock. It could only be what it has been, yes. With those two Black men.
If you put any other names together, the police are out on stage, they've cut to commercial, you didn't see what happened. By the time they come out, people have been removed, it goes on. It's certain ways things are handled when it's not intentional. When things go smoothly, but they seem chaotic, that means there was forethought and a plan. Somebody, even if it looks like, yeah, Janet Jackson just had a wardrobe malfunction. Yeah, there's no such thing.
Correct.
I don't care who you blame it.
I believe that.
Somebody benefited. Yeah. So in all of these situations, there's a business involved and there's real money involved, and somebody's benefiting from this thing that looks like, oh, that just happened. Nah, no way. No way.
Some reports suggested that Twitch may have witnessed something behind the scenes that he wasn't meant to see, and that it ultimately led to his situation. His wife, Allison Holker, shared that he left a note before his passing. According to certain claims, the note mentioned the pressure he was feeling, including stress connected to Ellen. It's also been alleged that Ellen wanted Twitch to help repair her public image by denying the workplace accusations against her. Because fans trusted him, some believe she hoped to rely on that credibility. As an executive producer, Twitch was aware of what was happening on the show, and some sources claim—
Okay, let's talk about this facial that you're obsessed with. How many, did you get the whole cast of Ocean's 8 to do this?
Not everybody.
Okay, good, smart ones.
Just those that I thought would appreciate it.
Okay, explain what it is.
Well, it's this way in which one forces through microneedling. It's like a little roller with these, I think many of you know it, and it pushes through the skin and ruptures the collagen and then boosts it. You look like a burn victim for a day, but then it pushes the serum.
What are you pushing into the skin, Sandra?
Sarah?
Perry? What are you pushing into the skin?
Well, you push in whatever the facialist would like to insert into your pores.
But what is it?
It is an extraction from a piece of skin that came from a young person far, far away, and they somehow figured out how to extract.
It's foreskin from a Korean baby.
When it comes to what can happen behind closed doors in Hollywood, Rosie O'Donnell once shared an experience involving Bill Cosby. She recalled that he had been invited onto her show and reportedly behaved inappropriately toward producers. According to her, that behavior was overlooked, as such incidents were often ignored within the industry. Misconduct has long been described as widespread in Hollywood, and at times even normalized. Several former child actors have also spoken out, claiming they were exploited when they first entered the business. Some allege they were pressured into inappropriate situations with music executives and film directors, being made to feel that securing roles required doing whatever those in power asked of them.
I'm going to put a little on your hand.
I'd do that. Oprah did.
Yeah, Oprah did it. All right, so here, we're going to rub it right in.
How come it's red?
I'll show you in a sec, Steve. So this is made from growth hormones of human.
Look, the wrinkles has just disappeared. I can't even ball my hand up.
So it's made from human foreskin. I'm sorry, Steve.
You done sat up here and squirted somebody's private parts in my damn hair. What you laughing at?
I'm sorry.
This your last time on the show. This your last time. Not coming up in here.
Justin Bieber's name is often mentioned whenever discussions about the mistreatment of young stars come up. His reported 4 8-hour party with Sean Diddy Combs and the ongoing harassment he allegedly faced from predatory individuals were deeply troubling. Instead of stepping in to support him, Ellen DeGeneres was criticized for appearing to laugh during the situation. Many saw this as an example of how a teenager's privacy was being violated without being taken seriously.
Billionaire freakazoid. Yes. And part of his deal, he's in prison in jail up in Canada, waiting, charges all over the globe. But his deal was that he would allegedly impregnate young women in the Bahamas, where he had a huge home, and then have them get abortions and harvest their stem cells of the fetuses to inject in himself as the fountain of youth. And we get into this in that documentary. And was Epstein involved in that sort of activity? I don't know.
That's where, and again, we just have to look at what we have and know what we don't yet.
Yeah.
But it's a question.
Yeah.
When you look at the
it's
context
a legitimate
of the jerky
question.
stuff.
Yeah. And when you look at what other billionaire guys have done, were they in contact somehow? I mean, obviously, there are some people who are in the concentric circles of associates.
There's also the fact that Sean Diddy Combs appeared on The Ellen DeGeneres Show 17 separate times. In her own words, Ellen DeGeneres admitted that she was aware of what Diddy was doing at his after-parties. The timing of Ellen leaving the United States also seems to align with Diddy's arrest. In 2024, just 1 month.
That's why those one world people exist, because it's a very powerful concept to have and far too lucrative and beneficial to not. Everybody is a supplier. Epstein, Weinstein, these guys knew what these extremists liked and provided it, and provided the way for you to to have $1 billion and not create a fantasy island type environment has not existed throughout history.
Right.
Simply relocating to the UK isn't all that suspicious, but the timing, the way Ellen DeGeneres completely changed her look, and how she stepped out of the public eye do raise questions. To make things even more concerning, Ellen recently revealed that she's planning to return. And surprisingly, this announcement came after Sean Diddy Combs filed for early release.
She had no remorse in her voice. Ghislaine has no soul. And you know yourself what I've been through trying to take her down. And the reason why I've had to go through that is because she's a dangerous human being. She will reoffend, and reoffend. These people never stop, ever.
So you were abused by both of them in your very first encounter?
Yeah, both of them. I was abused by Ghislaine and Epstein, and it broke my heart. I don't mean to sound sexist in any way, shape, or form. I don't hate men. I'm not a man hater, but I expected it from a man, but I didn't expect it from a woman. And so, I think that's what still hurts me the most to this day is that, as a mom, as a wife, as a sister, as a daughter, I couldn't imagine, putting someone through what she put me through. And, yeah, I think that's what hurts me most.
Ellen DeGeneres and her wife Portia de Rossi have reportedly left the U.S. and relocated to the U.K. following Donald Trump's landslide win. Multiple outlets are reporting that the couple has permanently moved out of the United States. There are also claims that they have listed their Montecito mansion for sale. Entertainment outlet The Wrap shared an exclusive report stating that Ellen DeGeneres and her wife Portia de Rossi have settled in rural England, put their Montecito property on the market, and do not plan to return to the U.S. According to sources, they told friends that Donald Trump's election was their main reason for leaving. Ellen DeGeneres.
Fox News alert, the Department of Justice just dropped last month's jailhouse interview with Epstein Madam Ghislaine Maxwell. And it's a doozy. First, she doesn't think Epstein killed himself.
So you think he did not die by suicide, given all the things we just talked about?
I do not believe he died by suicide. No.
And do you believe that, do you have any speculation or view of who?
No, I don't.
And what about Epstein's infamous client list? Did he even have a list?
You never observed, or you never saw any sort of list or black book or a list of individuals who, linked to certain masseuses or
Absolutely
anything
not.
like that?
Absolutely no. There is no list. I'm not aware of any blackmail. I never heard that. I never saw it, and I never imagined it.
The list doesn't exist? So flight manifests don't exist? The surveillance tapes don't exist? The bank records don't exist? Well, what about Trump? The media spent the last couple months trying to smear him as Epstein's predator pal.
I don't recall ever seeing him in his house, for instance. I actually never saw the president in any type of massage setting. I never witnessed the president in any inappropriate setting in any way. The president was never inappropriate with anybody. In the times that I was with him, he was a gentleman in all respects.
And did you ever hear Mr. Epstein or anybody say that President Trump had done anything inappropriate with masseuses or with anybody in your world?
Absolutely never. In any context.
A good portion of the interview focused on Bill Clinton. Author Daniel Halper told Primetime Clinton was romantically involved with Maxwell. Would Ghislaine sell out her old flame? And she was asked about Bill and said he never did anything inappropriate and that Bill never went to Epstein's island.
While discussing the unusual things Ellen has been accused of, some online sources have even suggested there's odd symbolism hidden in a few of her videos. In March 2020, right as COVID lockdowns started, Ellen DeGeneres.
I infiltrate the Illuminati, find out what the fuck they got going on, get the information, run back to y'all, tell y'all everything I know. That's my motherfucking job. But I don't know how many more times I'm going to be able to sneak in there. Thanks to Shannon Sharp and 90 million views, I can't sneak very often. So while I was in there this last time, knowing that my last report might be my last report, I went in there and I got information for everybody. Look at my white friends. Us too? That's right, white secrets.
Ellen DeGeneres' whole public image was carefully built, and once fans began to question what she was really like, she lost much of her support. Joe Rogan had reportedly predicted this years earlier, saying her personality often felt unnatural, as if she was putting on a mask. Rosie O'Donnell was among the first to point it out, suggesting that Ellen's nice persona wouldn't last forever.
Question: which one do you prefer, lewd and lascivious conduct or procuring minors for prostitution? I suppose lewd and lascivious conduct. I would prefer lewd and lascivious conduct with a prostitute if possible. That exchange between Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell on May 23, 2008 is part of some 18,000 emails from Epstein's personal Yahoo account obtained by Bloomberg News. The emails, which suggest the inbox was most active between 2005 and 2008, include messages spanning 2002 to 2022. Epstein died in 2019, and emails received after that are largely spam or marketing offers. Overall, the emails offer a raw look into the disgraced financier and sex offender's world. While this inbox wasn't the only one he used, the newly uncovered emails do suggest how central Maxwell was to his life, something that contradicts her telling of events. She's characterized herself as a former girlfriend and property manager for Epstein, not someone with eyes into his vast influence machine or sex trafficking operation. She's currently serving a 20-year sentence for conspiring with Epstein to sexually abuse minors. Maxwell was central to curating Epstein's inner circle, according to these emails. In some emails, she's organizing visits with the likes of Sergey Brin and his then-girlfriend Anne Wojcicki.
Ellen DeGeneres isn't the only person in Hollywood accused of presenting a very different image from who they really are. On the surface, many celebrities come across as extremely kind and friendly, but in reality, some people believe they don't truly respect others or see them as deserving of their attention. Joe Rogan has also said that certain Hollywood elites tend to treat others as if they are beneath them.
I know for a fact she's getting special treatment.
Les Trent spoke to Sam Mangle, a prison consultant who has 3 clients at the same facility as Maxwell, the Bryan Federal Prison Camp in Texas.
Whether it's access to a laptop computer, which is unheard of, to visits where they lock down the camp and no one can leave their bunks while she's having visitors.
Allegations of other perks, according to the New York Times, include meals being delivered to her cell and being served bottled water while other inmates drink tap water, playing with service dogs, showering alone, and watching TV alone in staff-only areas. They even provided her with an umbrella to shade her from the hot Texas sun while she took her daily walks.
She's been given the freedom and liberties that the other inmates do not have.
Last July, Maxwell was moved from a medium security prison in Florida to the minimum security camp in Texas. This followed her meeting with Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. According to reports, fellow inmates at the facility were threatened with solitary confinement or transferred to a tougher penitentiary if they voiced complaints about Maxwell's perks.
They've been told from the day she got there, do not discuss her, do not put anything in writing, do not talk about her on the phone, do not make any trouble regarding Miss Maxwell, or we will move you to another location.
It was similar in Ellen's case. Once Ellen DeGeneres rose to fame, she reportedly distanced herself from others and focused on staying on top. Critics say she didn't worry about who she associated with or how her staff were treated. In 2020, a BuzzFeed News investigation